beneath the surface. Heat and toxic gases rose through the cracks, causing the ground to boil, and the air was thick with the smell of sulfur. This geothermal region killed most creatures that couldn't withstand the heat and suffocating air. But it was also there that those who could sense with their skin, who knew how to retreat when the air grew dense, began to survive more. Through many generations, their bodies gradually adapted to the smoke, with stronger lungs, thicker skin, and quicker reflexes. This was the first natural selection by fire and the Earth's vapor for this species. In the hollow depressions, heavy gases accumulated. Any creature that inhaled it would fall within moments. These deaths made the group realize that the air did not always carry life. The instinct to watch the wind, smell the vapors, and listen to the earth's sound became a way to survive. Those who could choose the wind's direction, who knew to stop when the air grew heavy, passed on these signals to the group. Gradually, observing the environment became part of existence. Nature taught primitive humans that the earth could also kill, and only those who listened to it would still have breath. After many losses, the group learned to protect each other. They covered their noses with damp skin, walked in places where the wind flowed, and avoided the still, heavy areas. The group, the actions of one individual became a signal for the entire group. This imitation allowed experiences to be passed on without the need for words. This was the root of cooperation, the foundation for the first intelligence. A land full of toxic vapors, the small signs from the earth, wind, and heat forged the strongest instinct, the ability to recognize danger before death could approach. After the hot lands, the earth and sky cooled. Moisture covered the primeval forest, the air was thick, and the light was scattered by the dense canopy. In the dim light, ancient mushrooms appeared in abundance. They were tall, with hollow stems containing threads that absorb nutrients from decayed bodies and rotting leaves. The weak green light was a natural reaction of the substances in the mushrooms when exposed to the moist air. This bioluminescent forest marked the first sign of decomposing life, those who transformed death into new life, helping the earth retain its breath. forest. Many species of ancient mushrooms carried potent toxins. When the humidity and heat reached the right balance, the substances in them turned into poisonous gases, paralyzing the nervous system and stiffening muscles. Any creature that touched or consumed them would shrink, their skin turning ashen, slowly becoming as hard as stone. This petrification was not a miracle, but a natural reaction between the toxins and the minerals in the body. Through these countless falls, the group gradually learned the boundary between what was edible and what was forbidden, between life and death, marked by the very smell of the earth. The death of an individual in the group forced the others to learn how to keep their distance, while still holding on to the memory. Avoiding touch, avoiding inhaling, became the earliest form of preservation in primitive humanity. They used branches and stones to push the dead away, not out of understanding, but because they sensed the earth's anger. Over thousands of generations, this action became instinct, then the law of the group. This invisible fear marked the first step toward the concept of boundaries, the seed for the ability to distinguish danger from safety in the blood of early humans. When the air turned dry and the hot winds spread across the prairie, the first lightning strikes of the dry season set the grass ablaze. Fire in those days was the surface of the earth. The heat escaping from deep below. It destroyed everything, but it also cleared the way for new plants to grow. The herds, including primitive humans, were pushed out of their safe zones. Fire became the harshest selective pressure those who could run fast. Choose the right wind direction and move away from the thick smoke survived. In that heat, the instinct to migrate began to form. The wall of fire was a testament to the unstoppable power of nature. It swept through forests and animals, leaving a large, barren space on the ground. But in the midst of that terror, primitive humans learned something new. Fire could be blocked by earth, water, or moisture. The sensation of burning, the choking smoke, and the howling wind forged a quick reflex in muscles and lungs. Those who ran towards dry ground perished, while those who found the cool breeze lived. It was this difference that made the species stronger with every disaster on Earth. When the group found the water, instinct told them it was the boundary between fire and life. The water cooled their skin, soothed their lungs, and brought their breath back. Wet animal skins became the first shield against the heat's small steps, but they changed the way the species lived in evolutionary survival. After the fire, the scorched prairie left the soil rich in ash, planting seeds for the next season. Fire taught them to fear, but it also taught them to recognize rebirth. From then on, fire both destroyed and taught early humans how to survive. When the land cracked dry and the rivers ran low, moisture retreated to the swamp. There, life clung to water, tree roots, and black mud. Creatures of that time were large, hiding beneath the mud, waiting for prey to slip by. To survive, the ancient humans had to leave the ground and learn how to move through the branches. Balancing with both hands and feet made their shoulders more flexible, their chests expand, and their palms stronger. Each step on the tree was a rhythm of evolution, shaping their bodies to adapt to both the earth and the high spaces above. In the swamp, water not only nourished, but also concealed the hunter. From beneath the mud, ancient beasts would rise, dragging careless individuals down. That sudden death forced the group to deeply ingrain in their blood beneath the calm surface might lie teeth and claws. Fear from the water made them observe more carefully, to hear the smallest sound in the silence. The pressure from predators selected those who could judge well and stop at the right moment. From that terror, the senses of early humans became sharper than ever before. Each death in the group left a mark of fear etched deeply. When night fell, the image of the prey being dragged away lingered in the minds of the survivors. The fear stretched across generations, becoming an instinct to avoid deep water, to avoid the sounds of shifting mud. It was this fear that kept the species safe from the jaws of giant beasts, helping them survive the long night. Gradually, amidst the darkness and the sound of bubbling water, the first awareness of danger and loss arose the first seed of early human emotions, the ability to mourn the lost and hold on to survival. When the dry season stretched on, the beasts retreated and food became scarce. Hunger not only weakened the body, but also caused the group to fracture. Hunger was the cruelest test that the earth imposed. The stronger individuals fought for their share of food, and the weak gradually disappeared. But it was within this scarcity that the instinct to share began to form. The groups that learned to keep some food for the young and the elderly were the ones that lasted longer. Through countless seasons of thirst, the first concept of law within the group was born from hunger, not from thought. Between life and death, violence was the Earth's way of choosing the strong. The clashes between individuals in the group were not only for meat, but also for position. The winner took the lead, gaining the right to choose food and resting spots. The male's body grew tougher, with broader shoulders and larger fangs, results of hundreds of generations of struggle. But strength was no longer the only factor those who knew when to stop before killing were also kept. From that point, two instincts emerged in the blood brutality: to survive and restraint to live together. When an individual in the group spilled the blood of their kin, the earth forced the group to choose. Exiling the offender was a natural punishment, both to protect the rest and maintain balance. The fear of being separated from the shared breath made each individual restrain themselves. It was this exile that marked the first boundary between those who were kept and those who were cast out. The group's order then became the silent law of all time. Anyone who harmed their kin would lose the warmth of the group, lose their life. This was the primordial seed of natural ethics among early humans. The river before them was not just the boundary of the land, but the final challenge of life. When the heavy rains and monsoon winds converged, the ancient rivers became fierce, sweeping away any weak creatures. The water separated the group from the fertile lands on the other side, forcing them to stop and observe. Those who knew to wait for the current to subside, who could identify the objects floating without being swallowed, began to form the first glimmers of a way to cross. It was the pressure of the water that forced memory and intuition to merge, paving the way for the beginning of understanding. As the fear gradually faded, the hands began to follow what the eyes saw a dry tree trunk could float. And the vines were flexible enough to hold. From trial and error, from the instinct to gather and bind. The first object capable of floating on the water was born. It had no name, no concept, just the result of a basic need to survive. The group worked together, pulling, tightening, and holding. Each seemingly simple action opened the path for the combination of strength and intellect. That primitive raft was the first milestone of tool thinking in the long evolution of early humans. As the raft floated, the water was no longer an enemy, but a path. Breath, heartbeats, hand movements all merged with the power of the current. The cooperation of many bodies marked a new evolutionary leap, collective action for collective survival. Primitive humans not only crossed the river, but they transcended the limits of pure instinct. When their hands touched the wooden surface still afloat after the fierce current. Their eyes reflected something new, the first sign of awareness that humans could bend to the earth, not just endure it,